Today, I want to talk about something that has the potential to change your life forever. It's not a secret. It's not some magic trick. It's about habits. The small, everyday actions that shape who we are and determine where we go. If you want to improve your life, you don't need to look for big, sweeping changes. What you need are the right habits. Faciality is often seen as something to avoid at all costs, something that we must escape from. But the truth is, failure is not the enemy. It's the greatest teacher you ever have. It teaches you lessons that no success can ever offer. Every successful person, every achiever has gone through failure. It's not the failure that defines them, but how they respond to it. When you fail, you face a choice. You can either let failure define you, or you can learn from it and move forward stronger than before. The most powerful thing about failure is that it gives you an opportunity to learn it, highlights what didn't work, and habit 1, perseverance in adversity. If you are willing to look closely, it shows you how to improve. It shows you what needs to be changed in your approach, your strategy, and sometimes even in your mindset. When you're willing to learn from failure, it becomes a stepping stone, not a stumbling block. Think about the times you failed in the past. Maybe you lost an important client, didn't get that promotion or something, didn't go as planned in those moments. It can feel like the end of the world. You might question your abilities or feel like giving up. But I'll tell you this, in every failure, there's a lesson to be found. There's something to be gained. Even if it's not immediately apparent, the key is not to dwell on the fire itself, but to focus on the lessons it offers. People who succeed are those who keep moving forward, no matter how many times they fail. They understand that failure is part of the process, and they are willing to keep trying. If you've ever watched someone fail and rise again, you'll notice that what sets them apart is their resilience, is the ability to bounce back, to get up when you're knocked down, and to keep going. Even when the road ahead looks uncertain, there's a powerful saying, fail fast, fail often. The faster you fail, the faster you learn, and the more often you fail, the better you get at handling failure. Failure is an indicator that you are taking risks, that you are stepping outside your comfort zone without risk. There can be no real growth if you play it safe. If you always stick to what you know, you will never experience the real magic of growth. When you step into the unknown, that you begin to see what you're truly capable of. Every successful entrepreneur, athlete, artist, or leader has encountered failure. But what makes them successful is their ability to bounce back, to refine their approach, and to keep pushing forward. They don't let habit 2, lifelong learning and curiosity failures, stop them. They let it teach them. They take responsibility for their mistakes, analyze what went wrong, and figure out how to do better next time. Failure isn't something to fear, instead is something to embrace. Think of it as feedback, is giving you the direction you need if you failed in a particular project, instead of seeing it as the end. Ask yourself what you could have done differently. Was it a lack of preparation, a flawed strategy, a failure in execution? Maybe there were external factors that you couldn't control, but there's always something that can be learned from the experience. The goal is not to avoid failure, but to understand it and use it to improve. If you take failure personally, it will knock you down every time. But if you see it as part of your growth process, it loses its power. The most successful people are those who have developed a thick skin, who understand the failure is a temporary setback, not a permanent condition. It doesn't define you. Your reaction to it does, and if you can turn failure into a lesson, you will keep improving until success becomes inevitable. It's important to remember that failure doesn't mean you're not good enough or that you lack the talent. It simply means that the path you chose wasn't the right one at that moment, and that's okay. There are countless stories of people who faced massive failures and later achieved incredible success because they didn't give up. They kept moving forward with every failure, teaching them something new. So if you're afraid of failure, I urge you to shift your perspective. Don't view failure as something to be avoided at all cost. See it for what it is, a tool for growth. A habit 3, embracing innovation and change. Mirror that shows you where you can improve and a necessary part of the journey. With every failure you encounter, you are one step closer to success. Don't run away from failure, run toward it. Seek it out, because each failure will teach you something you didn't know before. It will help you become better, stronger, and more resilient. In the end, failure will be one of the greatest allies in your quest for success. Time is something we all have in common, but not everyone values it in the same way. It's easy to get caught up in a hustle of daily life and focus on the things that seem urgent or important in a moment, like making money, achieving success, or chasing the next big goal. Let me tell you this: money can be earned again, but time, once it's gone forever. Time is a resource that you can never get back, and how you spend it shapes not just your present, but your future. Many of us prioritize money over time. We work long hours, sacrifice our health, and neglect relationships, all in the name of making more money. But at the end of the day, when we look back, we may realize that we have little to show for it, beyond a bigger paycheck, and that paycheck doesn't bring true happiness or fulfillment. What truly matters is how you spend your time. You can always earn more money, but you can't earn more time. One of the most valuable lessons I've learned is that the wealthiest people are often those who understand the true value of time. They don't waste it. They spend it wisely on the things that matter most. They understand that time spent on what truly matters. Relationships, personal growth, and making a positive impact is far more valuable than chasing after material wealth. They don't just work harder, they work smarter. They focus on the right things, the things that bring them fulfillment and growth. It's easy to be distracted by the constant flow of demands, whether they are from work. Habit 4, the value of self-discipline. Technology or the people around us. The world moves at a fast pace, and it can feel like there's never enough time to get everything done. But here's the truth. We all have the same 24 hours in a day. It's not about how much time you have, it's about how you use it. The way you manage your time determines how much you can achieve and how much satisfaction you get from your life. If you don't manage it well, you end up feeling overwhelmed and unfulfilled. One way to manage time better is to make conscious choices about how you spend it. What are the things that truly matter to you? What are the things that will move you closer to your goals and dreams? Spend your time on those things. Focus on activities that give you a sense of purpose, that push you forward and help you grow. It's not about being busy, it's about being productive and intentional. Time spent doing things that bring you joy, growth, and connection with others is never wasted. Another important thing to remember is that time span or self-care is just as valuable as time span working or achieving goals. We often think of time as something to be used only for productivity, but taking time to relax, to rest, to recharge. These are equally important. Without proper rest and self-care, your energy, focus, and creativity will suffer. Investing time in your health, your relationships, and your well-being is an investment in your future success. It's also essential to evaluate how much of your time is being consumed by things that don't truly add value to your life. Many of us spend hours every day scrolling through social media, watching TV, or engaging in other Habit 5, building strong relationships and teamwork. Activities that offer little to no personal growth. These activities aren't inherently bad, but they shouldn't take up the majority of your time. It's about finding balance and making sure that the things that matter most get the attention they deserve. The truly value time you need to be deliberate about how you spend it. Start by, setting clear priorities. What are your long-term goals? What are the things that align with your values and vision for your life? Once you identify these, align your time accordingly. The things that matter most should get the most time, and the distractions should be minimized. You don't need to do everything, but you do need to do what's important. Gambling, every decision you make about how you spend your time should be in line with your priorities. Another way to value time is to be present in a moment. So often we're distracted by our phones, our thoughts or worries about the future. But the only time we have is a present moment. When you're with your family, focus on them. When you're working, focus on your work. When you're taking care of yourself, give yourself permission to be fully immersed in that experience. Being present will not only help you make the most of your time, but will also increase your overall satisfaction with life. Time is the most valuable bounty we have, and once you realize its true worth, you begin to make better choices. It's not about how much you can accumulate, but how much you can experience, learn and contribute. Time spent on growth, on relationships, on meaningful work. These are the things that bring true fulfillment. You don't need to chase after money or status. If you focus on managing your time wisely, success and fulfillment will follow. Naturally, time is not just a resource, it's the essence of life itself. Treat it with the respect it deserves, and you will lock the path to a life of true richness and meaning.